Dang, the resolution. All right. Hey, stop the music, stop the music, stop the music, stop the music, stop the music. This ain't no happy occasion, man. Ain't nothing happy. Ain't nothing nice. Ain't nobody happy right now, man. Like, what is going on right now? Like, Chaim Bloom, who is you? What is you doing? All right, I get it. Yeah. I know we supposed to be resetting, and you got to use your best trade pieces, and yeah, blah blah blah. But damn, bro, I need to take just a moment as a Cards fan to just say goodbye to the good times we had with our good old buddy Willson Contreras, who frankly is my favorite player on the Cardinals. And I said is because the trade ain't went through yet because they still got to do physicals and all that. And I'm still a little hurt. Yeah, I knew this was a possibility, but I didn't know it was coming so quick, man. Nor did I know that you was going to trade all of our good pieces to the same team, homeboy. What is we doing? What is we doing? Yo, Chaim, you got some explaining to do, homeboy. Like, I ain't saying you don't know what you're doing, but it's a little suspect that you come from the come from the Red Sox, and all of a sudden, like, damn near all our good trade pieces going to the Red Sox, homeboy. Like, what you trying to make them like some sort of super team? I mean, I get it. Our players ain't necessarily been World Series caliber, but at the same time, like, that's Sonny Gray and Willson Contreras. Not to mention, that's where you sent Steve Matz last year. Clearly, you still got some good connections up there in that front office, but good Lord, are we getting back to reserve? Can we officially stop calling this a reset or a This is a whole you're redoing the whole team. And I get it. We're going with the youth, the Victor Scotts, the Mason Winns, the Nolan Gormans. But really, all of the good players, homeboy, like, that's what we're doing right now. We're just going to send them all to the New England Patriots version of the baseball team. Like, what are we doing, bro? I'm not even mad at us acquiring and getting rid of the payroll and us trying to get better as a team. But I'm just a little concerned that we are giving them all to the same team. And now when we play the Red Sox, it's going to be like playing the Cardinals. Not to mention, y'all took the most exciting player off of the team. But I mean, we can sit there and argue about, is that really Mason Wynn? Is it so-and-so or the best? But no, it is Willson Contreras, the guy whose jersey I am wearing right now as we speak, one who I have been garnering as the most exciting part of the Cardinals team, has just gone to New England. And this is normal. I get it. You know what I'm saying? Fans don't like it when they start players. I'm sure that the Mets weren't happy to see Brandon Nimmo go away, or definitely not happy to see Pete Alonso go away. But that was a damn near playoff caliber team. We now have only Nolan Arenado as a veteran player on our team. They're one of the only players on our roster over the age of 30. And he ain't expected to stay here, right? Like, right now, we're literally going to be winding up looking for, and by the way, for those who have watched this before, I'm sorry, today ain't going to be one of them days where I get into the weeds. I'm just venting today. I'm just venting today. Because literally, this is the only thing worth watching when you're dealing with the Cardinals, who have been lackluster, to say the least, in the last few years. When you get a guy as exciting as Willson Contreras, bro, you're not, like, yeah, you said, don't nobody want to lose this dude? This was what I look forward to when we had games to play. Despite him not necessarily being, the 40, 50 bet, at least the dude was giving us a good 20. When he gets in, he is in, not only with the bet, but with his energy. He's one of the few dudes who is willing to fight. Let me tell y'all what y'all get in Boston, because I don't think y'all really respect it. Because I listened to some of the shows earlier, and I heard some of the Boston players, why we didn't get Munetaka, Murakami, and we really wanted Pete Alonso. And shut up. You realize that you was about to get this dude for basically pennies on the dollar, number one. And number two, this dude is about to throw so much excitement into your lineup. Because Willson Contreras, he bats over the strike zone. So he gets hit damn near 24 times. Last year, I think he got hit like 18. And when he get hit, he don't get hit and be like, he looks at the pitcher He stirs, he walks. I will never forget how I damn near didn't like Hunter Green because Hunter Green beamed him in 2024, and Willson Contreras was about ready to charge the mound. And Hunter was like, hey, ain't nobody trying to hit you. Shut up. In fact, last year, one of the most interesting things I'd ever seen happen from a team, in my perspective. All right, let me go ahead. All right, we get it. But real quick, let me just do this for Willson Contreras' Cardinals career. We want to applaud it. But now, the hard part. This go out to the homie Willson Contreras. Big bat. Always held it down. He was the guy who made it so that we weren't just some little bitty team in 2024, 2025, who damn near had to single-handedly hold the Cards down bat-wise, even though he had got injured, even though he wasn't even playing his first position, even though he wasn't necessarily too thrilled about getting moved from catcher to first base, even though he had nobody to protect him in the lineup, even though no pitchers were willing to beam any other hitters when he was getting hit left and right, when he had to basically stay in a press conference in a post-game interview, yo, I guess I gotta just keep getting hit because ain't nobody protecting me. And finally, Libertor and them started backing my man and them up. This is a guy who got hit by a pitch called by his own little brother. This is a guy who was in Milwaukee literally about to fight Rhys Hoskins because he was getting mad at the fact that he was getting hit, who got beamed by Jose Quintana in retaliation, who took the ball off the ground and walked it over to Jose, his former teammate, say, don't even trip. I get why you did what you did. I ain't like it, but I get why you did what you did. Who called Rhys Hoskins and all them pussy. That's who y'all getting, Boston. I don't know nobody else on your team like that, especially if y'all don't get Bregman. And Bregman, I'm going to keep it real. He ain't that outspoken. Jaron Duran going to say the right things. All right, Sedan Rafaela. I'm positive that y'all, boy, because y'all don't got a lot of flavor, Boston. Let's just keep it real. And now that you do have at least some more pieces, I bet you that you guys start shooting out of the cannon. Because Willson is not only a good teammate, but he's also a good solid bat. The dude's good. He may not hit all of them out the park, but he covers the plate. That's why he bats damn near all the way in the strike zone. I'm just, I'm a little mad because I just feel like Chaim Bloom is selling all of our players to his former boss. I feel like there's something that we should talk about here. As much as I want to believe that it's Chaim time and that, oh yeah, that's just what it is, and oh yeah, he's making the right moves for the future, I can't help but wonder, like, why are the same teams getting the big, like, is there no other team that's willing to take Willson Contreras? Maybe that's the case, man. But this sucks. Okay, today is not a day where I'm sitting there chiming in so I can just contribute. I'm just upset that my jersey ain't worth as much as it used to be. I'm just upset. But let's go ahead and at least talk about what's going on in this trade so we can all be completely aware as to what all the trade deal entails, shall we? So, based on an article written by a man named Mark Polishuk, all right, for MLBTradeRumors.com, just give you all a quick taste of what it says here. It says, less than a month after landing Sonny Gray, the Red Sox have acquired another prominent veteran talent from St. Louis. Boston has landed first baseman Willson Contreras, and it's funny how they call him a first baseman, and he could have been a catcher too. He still can do it. It just was a log jam because we have Crooks and Pages and Pozo and Ivan Herrera all as catchers, but that's a whole other story. I will stop and I'll continue with the article. And $8 million in cash consideration from the Cardinals in exchange for a package of 3 right-handed pitchers, Hunter Dobbins, and prospects Yoiker Ferrado and Blake Aita. Now, Contreras and his agents at Octagon negotiated an extra $1 million bonus for Contreras to approve the trade because, remember, Willson Contreras had a no-trade clause. All right, so don't forget that Willson Contreras didn't just go over there because he wanted to. He told the Cardinals, he told them straight up, he was like, look, I don't want to go nowhere. At the very end of the season, they was like, Willson, what's up with you? He was like, listen, man, I'm going to keep it real. I don't want to go nowhere. I want to stay here. I think I could be a good veteran voice for some of the younger generation. But then Chaim Bloom came in and was like, yeah, we get it. We like you. We don't want to trade you necessarily. But, I mean, we are a business and blah, 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 blah. And Willson was like, all right, fine. So he had a no-trade clause. Just like Nolan Arenado has a no-trade clause. Just like Sonny Trade and them had a no-trade. He had to approve of this trade to go over there. And it can't hurt that he's going over there to join his teammate, Sonny Gray, who will be waiting right there. The two vets from the St. Louis Cardinals will be reunited in Boston at Fenway because Chaim Bloom is doing the work of the devil. I'm sorry. I'm just going to tell you how I feel, man. That's what it is. What are you doing, Chaim Bloom? All I'm to the same? Give me a break. Anyway, all right, let me go ahead and get back to the article. Let's go ahead and see what else it says. So, like I said, he did negotiate that additional $1 million bonus. And in addition to that, the veteran includes a no trade clause fully that he has with Boston. The final two guaranteed seasons of Contreras' contract and the club option on his services for 2028 have been slightly reworked. Okay, so now he'll receive $18 million in 2026, $17 million in 2027, and the Red Sox hold a $20 million club option on his services in 2028 with a $7.5 million buyout. The previous term salaries included $18 million and $18.5 million in 2026 and 27, plus a $5 million buyout on a 2028 club option valued at $17.5 million. So it sounds like a pretty good deal for Contreras, but why it's happening, I still don't know. Let's go a little bit further into the weeds and find out a little bit more about this, and then we'll get into why I think that this is going to help the Red Sox. But what do the Cardinals look like without him? Let's get into that in a second. Okay, so Willson also, it says the final accounting works out to $42.5 million in guaranteed money for Contreras over the remainder of his deal, factoring in the Cardinals' $8 million contribution. Boston's commitment to Contreras is $34.5 million in salary. His luxury tax number is 17.25. All right, last little bit here. Contreras, who turns 34 in May, ends his St. Louis tenure with a 2.61 OB. 2.61 batting average, 3.58 OBP, and then a 4.59 slug slash line, 55 home runs over 1,416 plate appearances from 2023 to 2025. Signed a 5-year deal, the $87.5 million free agent deal back in 2022 with the Cardinals. The idea was that Cardinals would take over from Yadier Molina as the team's regular catcher. Yet in some awkward fashion, the Cardinals reduced Contreras' playing time, held behind the plate, and used him regularly as a DH. Heading into the 2025 season, Contreras became a full-time first baseman, returning to his position he played only a handful of times earlier in his career with the Cubs. The outs above average metrics gave Contreras a positive 6th grade for his first base work in 2025, but he also received -1 defensive runs saved. Now, there's plenty more in the article, obviously, but let me just elaborate on what they said. There was a mention of him being put awkwardly to first base as a result, instead of paying the catcher position that he was also very good at. But the reason that was because in 2024, Contreras kept getting hurt. Like, the dude kept getting hurt. In fact, he got hit by the bat of man, I can't remember who it was, but as soon as the name comes to mind, I will let y'all know. But he was doing one of those things as a catcher. You know, the catchers, they frame the pitchers. He was out there trying to grab the pitch before, stealing pitches is what he was doing. And he got hit by the bat, broke his forearm, and had to take off a good portion of the season in 2024. Here's what's funny about that. When he did get hit, folks were saying, like, he's out for the season. He was like, yo, don't count me out just yet. 4 weeks later, the dude came back. 4 weeks. 4 weeks. A broken arm. You back catching in 4 weeks? Here's the problem. He came back and then got injured again. Got hit in the hand. All right? So then he had to spend time off at the latter half of the season. And so one of the things that Marmol and the management decided was, hey, you know what? Instead of us having this log jam at the catcher's position with you, Ivan Herrera, Pedro Paez, and whoever else we have in the minors, since we did lose Paul Goldschmidt I say lose, but he was a free agent. Since Paul Goldschmidt did end up going to the Yankees in 2025, we now have an opening for 2025 for first baseman. Willson, you played first baseman briefly with the Cubs. Why don't we just move you over there so we can keep your bat in the lineup instead of trying to put you at DH, which is more than likely we're going to put Ivan Herrera, since we do have Pedro Paez, who's a better defensive catcher than Ivan Herrera, even though Ivan Herrera is a slugger. His arm just wasn't what it was, and he didn't throw people out at second whenever they would try to steal from first, whenever he was the catcher. Not that well, I should say. He got a couple of them, but he wasn't that well. So Willson wasn't like demoted because he was trash. He was taken off of the plate. He was taken off from behind the dish because he kept getting hurt, because he wasn't able to reach his full bat potential, since he was not able to get through a full season without getting hurt behind the plate. But he's one of the most intense people in the league. Him and his brother William. These are two dudes that you don't want to mess with, that I don't want to come up and face in a back alley somewhere in Venezuela. These two dudes, and I cannot ever forget about Willson Contreras and his brother William when they were playing against each other in the world in Milwaukee, and Willson Contreras got hit by a pitch that was called by his brother. Like William Contreras, that's how these dudes are so tough that they will hit each other with pitches in the major leagues. And Willson, damn near, I swear, Willson had don't forget, not only does he eat tape, all right, not only does he hit bombs, all right, but the dude also is so passionate that he damn near threw a bat at one of the umpires last year toward the latter half of the season, because they were trying to say that he said something to the ump that he didn't actually say. All right, and he got suspended for like 5 days. It was a reduction of a 7-day sentence, 7 games. It was a reduction of a sentence, because originally I think it was 7, but then they reduced it to like 5 because he threw the bat, and even though it didn't look like it was thrown at the umpire intentionally, I mean, you don't want to. And that happened almost directly at almost very, very soon after Victor Robles threw a bat at the pitcher for hitting him. Yeah, and Victor was bad, rightfully so. The dude spent almost a whole year in rehab, and then one of the first things happens in his rehab position is that he gets hit in the same arm that he broke, that took him out of the Seattle Mariners lineup for so long. So I get that. But yeah, I just want to say, man, like, this is sad, bro. Like, I knew this was. I didn't know. Okay, can I keep it real with y'all? A small part of me was hopeful. A small part of me was hopeful that Willson Contreras was going to be the only trade piece that we held on to. I knew Arenado was gone, which seems like it's a real tough sell. Colorado's still playing money on Arenado. It feels to me like Willson was the one out of all who was willing to forego whatever money he could have made to stay with the Cardinals, because he just wanted to be there to be a part of the winning team that eventually emerges. All right. He knew that the Cardinals may not be where they're going to be, but he wanted to be there when they got there. Kind of the same way Paul Skeens is like, nah, man, I really want to stay in Pittsburgh, even though I still don't think that's necessarily going to happen. All right. So my whole thing is like, damn, man, we're getting rid of Nolan Arenado. We got rid of Sonny Gray. We just got rid of Willson Contreras. We will have no vets on this upcoming team. Now, I'm happy about Dustin May. When I saw the Dustin May thing, the acquisition, I was like, yeah, I'm with that. I like that. I have no problems with the Dustin May acquisition, because I like Dustin May, especially when he was with the Dodgers. Dude was throwing heat. We're talking about a guy who can throw in the 90s, upper 90s rather, all right, and has a lot of upside. I know he's had a lot of injuries to deal with, and it's not necessarily been in the best shape in the last few months or years or whatever. But the fact of the matter is, the dude can rake a little. Can pitch. You know what I'm saying? And we don't have any true experienced pitchers in our lineup. All right, Sonny Gray was that guy. He had all the experience in our complete rotation. But now we got to deal with basically dudes from our farm system like Libertor, Cal Leahy, Michael McGreevy. Who else is in that? Palante had a bad last half of the season. He had a good start, but his last half of the season, man, he was not able to get to the 6th inning. So Dustin May, I think, is going to come in from Boston with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, ready to show that he can contribute. It just kind of sucks because we're getting a Dustin May who's been transferred from good playoff team to lesser potential playoff team to now a non-playoff team. He's only got a 1-year thing. So this, in my opinion, is going to be the year that he uses to kind of get his contract for 2027 up to par. So he's got a lot to have to try to prove within this first 162 games if he's able to play. And I don't know how many starts but they need somebody. Them dudes in that dugout, them dudes in the bullpen, as well as the dudes in the rotation. They need somebody who's been to the mountaintop like a Dustin May to show them what it takes, what they experience. Talk about how it is they differ from the bullpens and the rotations that this dude has been in since he's been with the Dodgers and with the Red Sox. Right. And I know his ERA is terrible right now. It's like in the 4.5s. But that's also a dude who's dealing with multiple injuries in the realm of his arms. So I don't want to necessarily write him off just yet. I think Dustin May is a good acquisition, but it does not excuse you giving away my dog, Willie. That's my dog, bro. Sad, 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 sad. So I just want to tell you, Boston Red Sox, you guys are getting the dude who is going to really up the level of intensity to your lineup. I mean, he may not be your 3, 4, 5 bat. I think he's at least a 5. I would even put him at a 3 if I was y'all, but I know y'all got some arms in there. But yeah, I think if you're sitting there trying to be down on Willson Contreras, let me just tell you something. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know. You have no idea what you're talking about. If you're downing Willson Contreras and the effort that he's about to bring to Fenway, I'm just going to let you know right now, you're going to eat some words because y'all basically got a good portion. You got 2/3 of the Cardinals veteran staff. And they're going to come through and show that they not only are capable of bringing the Red Sox to the playoffs, but that they deserve to be in the room when it comes to winning teams. They've been trying to get the Cards, just like Sonny said. He came to the Cardinals because he wanted to win. Now he's on a team that's been to the playoffs in the last couple of years. Now they don't want to do nothing other than make sure that they can be in the same position as the Dodgers, the Yankees, and all these other teams that are considered automatic playoff contenders. And they want to show that they can contend in that matter. So I would say prediction, bold one at that. I think that Willson Contreras has a all right. I was gonna make a bold. I'm gonna temper it down. I'm gonna give him a 20+ homer season. I was gonna say 30, but I'm gonna give him 20. All right. I'm gonna give Willson Contreras a 20 bat. I think that he can hit 20, right? That's not too difficult. I think 20 he can hit. I think you'll also see that he has the ability to hold down your first base. He ain't no Raffy Devers. He know what he's doing. All right. And he's not going to, if you ask him to move, he's not going to be like, nah. Because we had to ask him to move from his favorite position at catcher, and he still moved over. All right. And he was able to not only master, I won't say master the position, but like really, really, really hold it down. He looked like he'd been doing first base for a while. Now, obviously, he had some experience in that regard. But yeah, man, this sucks, man. Now, the only thing that I can really say is that at least we got Willson at his best. With him now turning into his mid-30s, maybe he's not the same guy he was when he was with the Cubs. Maybe he doesn't have the same capabilities. But, man, what a time we had with our good old buddy, Willson Contreras. Sucks to see you go, homeboy, but I guess we got to. Kill him over there in the Red Sox territory, but do me a favor and take it easy on us Cardinals when you come back to Busch Stadium. I'm going to keep the jersey. All right? I'm not going to go and get me no. Y'all see it? I'm going to keep the jersey. I'm going to keep my Willson jersey. I'm going to remember how many times the Cardinals let you get hit. I'm going to remember how you would come in off the bench and hit the ball in the right direction. It might be one of our only hits for the game. I'm gonna remember how you stood up for your people when Venezuela got basically taken over in that election, and how you came at the press conference, at the post game presses, and you was like, I really want to talk to America. America, can y'all look out? Can y'all do something about Venezuela? Can y'all help out my people? Like, Willson is one of them dudes, like, I would literally love to just get a beer with, and I don't even drink beer. All right, but I'll get one with you, bro. It might be O'Doul's or some non-alcoholic. But yeah, man, I wish I would love to hang out with Willson Contreras. I just think he's cool. He's the funnest guy on the team. The second would be Mason Wynn. Mason Wynn obviously is, you know, him and being the first, I mean, being the shortstop and all that. That's hella cool. But Willson, the dude literally was eating. The dude is eating tape, bro. The dude. Do you know what happened here, by the way? Is everybody familiar with what's going on in this particular ordeal right here? Do y'all get what's happening right here? All right. So just in case you didn't know, what's happening in this particular clip is Willson Contreras was about to bat at this bat, and for whatever reason, he was having issues with the tape hanging off of the bat. And he went to hit time. He went to say timeout, but the umpire was like, "Nah, ain't no more time. You can't time out." He was like, "Oh, you know, this is making." He's like, real quick. He just had a couple seconds, ripped it up, and he didn't want to throw it nowhere, so he just put it in his mouth right quick. He just put it in his mouth right quick, and he went ahead and took the bat. Now the problem is he did it almost as if it was going to be helpful, but you know, the dude ended up striking out that play, and so it didn't really. Striking out that, so all that tape eating and all this making news and headlines for the next couple of days, it was for naught, because he didn't even get that bat, bro. He ended up striking out right after that. So right after you sitting there looking at boop, boop, boop. Oh, I'm gonna put this in my mouth. Okay, I'm gonna rip it off. All right, put the rest of it in my mouth. Put it in. Bat. All right, go ahead, throw the ball. Bam, struck out. So, man. All right, well. Like I said, man, today is not an informative day. Today is just me venting, because I just, like, when I saw this happen over the weekend, I was like, man, I cannot wait to talk to my channel and just voice my frustrations. And since not that many people is watching just yet, I could do it and not have to worry about losing nobody. But damn, bro, God, man, God damn, Chaim, let me talk to you, homeboy. Who's next? Huh? Let me guess. Arenado gonna be playing third base for the Red Sox here pretty soon? Why don't you go ahead and send Jordan Walker down that way? Shoot, hell, why not just go ahead and trade Alex Cora for Arlie Marmol? Huh? Since you want to trade folks away like that, huh? And then we keep getting all these prospects. So can we officially put away this whole, oh, it's not a reset? Yes, it is. This is a reset. We're getting rid of the players that were used to supplement the loss of Albert Pujols and Yadi Molina since 2022. And now we're relying only on the young bucks. We're relying on the Mason Winns and the Nolan Gormans, possibly the Newt Bars, the Victor Scotts, the Jordan Walkers, the Joel Pozos. We're also relying on, oh yeah, by the way, Brendan Donovan, hello? I bet you he ended up going to the Dodgers. I'm gonna put some money on it. So, Chaim, like, just, I mean, I don't look like that, homeboy. Like, what is it, man? Like, who are you still best friends with up at Fenway, homeboy? Because, I mean, 2 trades now to the same team for minimum, and we still pay on both of the posts we traded, we paying on still. So, isn't the point of a trade to, if you're not getting equal or greater value, to try to get some more payroll? We're still paying on Sonny Gray. We're still paying on Willson Contreras. And who are these arms? And how long are they going to be in the minors before we even see it? We still ain't seen Liam Doyle. We still don't know if Tink Hence is coming to the world. We had to fight just to get Michael McGreevy approved. So I really hope that whatever this is that you're doing, I really hope that it makes more sense than it feels like it does. Can we take a quick look before we start getting up out of here at what the Cardinals lineup is going to look like? I don't have some sort of fancy thing to show y'all real quick. All I have is what's on the top of my head. I'll tell you what I think it is going to be like. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about it. Matter of fact, oh, so it looks like this is one of our Pitchers. Richard Fitz. Okay. Let me show y'all this real quick. This is kind of funny to me. I just happened to look at this just right now, so I don't. This might go awry, but I just looked at this picture on Instagram, and it says we've acquired right-hand pitcher Richard Fitz, left-hand pitcher Brandon Clark, and player to be named later on cash considerations from the Boston Red Sox in exchange for right-hand pitcher Sonny Gray and cash considerations. It looks like some people are thinking like me. Why did we trade our best pitcher away? Let's see what the replies say. He wanted to leave and need people. I don't know if he. I don't know if he wanted to leave. I'll take issue with that. He said that he wanted to win. He didn't say he wanted to leave. Now, if the Cardinals said we about to win, he would have been like, I'm cool. But he had a no trade clause, and he would have stayed if we were in the position to win. He doesn't fit the timeline. Need to get younger, more affordable. Don't listen to the others. He wanted to stay. Yeah, right. See, but we talked him into waiving his no trade. That's more accurate. That's more accurate. All right. So why would you want to keep a 36-year-old? We paid $35 million to have a 4 ERA. Because he was the best. He was win day, and none of the other pitchers had the consistency that he had. Even though he did not have, he was having trouble making it to the fifth inning. He still was at least moderately dependable. Respectively, understand that it's just hard taking this reset offense. Gonna have to step up this year hard. I agree with you, homeboy. Lower the salary cap. Salary cap? There's no such thing. What are you talking about? We are, we are finally taking. From your lips to God is, let's see what these kids got. Go Cardinals. Okay, cool. No point paying his salary if the team is a contender. I guess that does make a lot of sense. Gray is a number 3 or 4 on a good team, and he's 36 and is going to be making $35 million. He needed to be moved, and Bloom got a nice return. This is a rebuild with the guy in charge who knows what he's doing. Thankfully, Mo is finally gone. All right, that's a little harsh, but I guess you say what you believe. Yeah, but as for all that other stuff, man, I definitely don't believe that Sonny wanted to leave St. Louis. Sonny was not mad at St. Louis. He definitely liked it more than he liked New York. If you didn't hear already, Sonny came out and was like, nah, yeah, I wasn't feeling that whole New York thing. And he was like, it's nice to be in a place where it's perfectly fine to hate the Yankees. And that's a weird thing to say, but that's what he said. That's what he meant. And that's one of the things that we like about Sonny Gray. I'm not going to lie. I had to get warm on Sonny Gray. He was a real intense dude. When you see his post-game coverage, press conferences, he looked, he's like, yeah, well, I didn't really have it today, but I started doing the best. My first 3 innings were lights out, but then I just got to keep that consistency. He was always real honest. Sonny don't bullshit. I'll say that much. But as for Contreras, man, you now join the ranks of the trades. Chaim Bloom is forcing down our throats. It's Sonny, Willson, and who knows what else is happening down the pike. So whatever, that's ball. And I can only hope that the kids will be all right. Man, let me do this real quick like I said I was going to do. So this is what the lineup is going to look like now, at least as far as I'm concerned. Probably is going to look a little less powerful. So let's look at what it was, and then we could talk about what it will be. And I don't even know if all of this is going to be the way it will be next year, but let's just kind of at least brace ourselves, okay? So this gives me shades of 2024 when Mason Wynn was the leadoff and Alec Burleson was the second because Goldie was hurt. Arenado wasn't putting up numbers. So now let's go ahead and look at this realistically. All right. So Wilson's gone. But in his place, you don't have to have Alec Burleson at DH. Alec Burleson can now play first base. So we got Alec at first base. Mason Wynn at shortstop. Right now, currently, Brendan Donovan is still at second base. But if Brendan Donovan goes away, then we rise to the ranks one young J.J. Weatherholt. J.J. Weatherholt is all the talks on the minors. He was our first round draft pick when we had the Cardinals in 20. Well, was it first or fifth? It might have been fifth. Excuse me. All right. So that's something we have to look forward to. Now on third base, you'll look up and down that list and you'll notice that you don't see Nolan Gorman. Oh, there he is at the very bottom. Nolan Gorman takes third base because Nolan Arenado will not be a Cardinal in 2026, nor, frankly, as much as we love him as a person, do we need him. And I'm not going to lie, it's going to suck not seeing that dude pick up that ball with one arm from third base and toss it right over to first, right in the place it should be, where Nolan Gorman was not capable of doing that seamlessly as he started. But that's what it's looking like. So we got Mason Wynn, shortstop, Alec Burleson, first base, second base, JJ Weatherholt, third base, Nolan Gorman. Left field is the big question mark. Because right now, left field, you're either looking at Newt Barr or Brandon Donovan, and sometimes Alec Burleson. But right now, since we're gonna, let's just assume we're gonna, you know what? Let's come back to left field. Right field, we've got Jordan Walker. All right. Center field, we've got Victor Scott, and I do, for some reason, think that Victor Scott's gonna have to win his position again this year, the same way he had to win it in 2025 over Michael Ciani, who ended up getting, let's just say, released. Okay, he went elsewhere. I think he went to the Braves, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not 100% sure. All right, so catcher, that's the big question for me, because catcher technically could be one of three people. It could either be Pedro Pages, whose numbers offensively aren't the best, despite that phenomenal game Father's Day weekend against the Cubs in 2024, or it could be Ivan Herrera. Now, here's the trick. I think Ivan really wants to be a catcher, mainly because he doesn't want to be DH, because he's still in his 20s, and he also does not run that well. They tried him in the left field a couple times last year, and he just looked uncomfortable. He didn't have no makes. He made his plays. He caught the ball, but he just didn't look comfortable. I think that after his surgery this offseason, I think that we're going to look at Ivan Herrera as potentially one of the veterans on the Cardinals team in this upcoming season, and it really is going to weigh very heavily on how well he's able to contribute in his catcher role. So let's go ahead and go back to that real quick. So if we're looking at this, we got Mason Wynn, shortstop, Alec Burleson, first base, Nolan Gorman, third base, JJ Weatherholt, fourth base, second base. Fourth base. We got Jordan Walker at right field. We got Victor Scott in center field. We got Newt Barr currently in left field. Or, you can put Nathan Church or one of the young men that we brought up later in the year last year. And then, of course, we have our catcher, a log jam with Ivan Herrera, Pedro Pages, Crooms, and Joel Pozo, who just got signed, I think, for one more year. And I think you'll see a lot of them alternating as DHs and whatnot. So, I don't know, man. I don't like it. And not that I don't like it, I'm just... Man. All right, well, I guess we just gonna have to deal with it, man. It is what it is. It happened, and now, I can't wait till I get to talk to Chip again and see how he feels about this trade. See maybe what my homeboy Michael Claiborne feels about the trade. I don't know. I wonder what Katie Woo would say about this trade. I don't know. In fact, I might hit her up and see what she heard. I know she worked with the Yankees and all that. The Dodgers, but whatever. It is what it is. And yeah, man, and shoot, I don't know. Maybe let's see what Xavier, he's a former Cardinal. Let's see what he had to say about the trade. Yeah, man. Willson Contreras, it was nice, man. Appreciate your services. But yeah, I guess we're gonna have to go ahead and let you go, bro. It's been nice. Sincere thanks to all your contributions for making the Cardinals an exciting team to watch. And they're gonna love you in Boston, man. They're gonna love you in Boston. And if they don't, bring your ass on back, homeboy. My man, tape eating Willie. All right, well, hey, I'm gonna keep it real, guys. I did put in the header that I was going to talk about Munetaka Murakami, and he did get traded. I mean, he did get acquired by the White Sox. I think that's a big deal. I'm geeked up for the White Sox because I want them to not be the last team. They're the team that I root for against the Cubs because I'm not a Cubs fan, even though I do like some of the Cubs players. But yeah, Munetaka actually getting placed with the Chicago White Sox is cool for me because I am eager to see what happens with the Japanese and the Korean and the Asian market now that there are players expressing the willingness to not go to the overall arching assimilating Dodgers, who pretty much just acquire like all of the dope pieces to make their team almost unbeatable. The details for this trade, as far as I'm concerned, I think it's 2 years for 34 million. But for the White Sox, all they needed was a jolt of energy. Now Luis Robert has somebody along with Chase Mydroth and Kyle Teal to share in the bats. Hopefully this inspires them. As you know, sometimes some players need competition from other players just to make sure that they just to kind of give them a little bit of an edge instead of just trying to do what they've been doing. Now they get to try to swing for the fence to try to be better than the new acquisition so they don't find themselves on the trade block or on the DFA block in the seasons to come. I know Munetaka Murakami, he's talking a big deal, one of the biggest home run hitters in Japan, but Japan ain't America, homeboy. So we just gonna have to see if that ends up working out in his favor. As far as everything else, guys, I would like to go ahead and end this by saying, man, I'm not again happy about this deal, but we the Cardinals, and we will move on to bigger, better things, hopefully including at least getting closer to a playoff run. We didn't accomplish my goal this year, which was just for us to have an over 500 season. We ended up with 77 wins, but we did it the year before. So hopefully with the youth now completely in charge, we will have a better opportunity, right, to get back in our good Cardinals days of 2006, 2011, and the other 9 World Series that we won prior to that. I'm sorry, guys. It just hit me like a brick. So hopefully I'll come back in the future with a little bit better information to report on. But as of right now, goodbye, St. Louis fried rice, and hello, Boston crab cakes. Good luck to you over there, Willson. We certainly gonna miss you on this side, homeboy. As for everybody else, thanks for pulling up to On the Black, where we cover baseball with flavor like chocolate. I'm gonna be back in the next few days to chat on some of the new findings going on in the beautiful world of baseball, our sport that we love so much. Y'all ain't keep it real, y'all. Deuces. Peace.